I'm not happy doing this. Like, this is not fun. I don't know when it stopped being fun, but this just isn't fun anymore. I hate this. I'm always depressed. I'm always angry. I lost all passion completely. Hello everyone, it is me, Salem. Welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? I am doing kind of okay. I know recently my videos have been a little different. I've been talking a lot without any scripts. I've been talking about topics that are more so, ignore that. I've been talking about topics that have been more about kind of how I feel rather than, you know, making like a huge video essay. The last video I did was about Shane Dawson and the mess that he is, which was completely unscripted, and it seems that you guys really liked it. So I wanted to do a video on another topic where I can just speak from my heart, but of course still have fun with it and just be like real, you know? I'm honestly being like so vulnerable right now, you guys. But on a more serious note, yes, so today's topic, I am going to be talking about why I left the beauty community, or why I left the makeup community, or basically addressing the fact that my old videos are nothing like what my new videos are like. And this is something that has been brought up a lot in my comment sections and my Instagram DMs, where people are just wondering like, why aren't you making these type of videos anymore? And I have yet to address it. I feel like I owe you guys an explanation as to why I kind of abandoned that part of my fan base and just kind of basically redid my entire YouTube channel completely and basically rebranded myself out of nowhere, because the explanation for why I did it is one that's very long. It's very deep. So yeah, I just want to get into that in this video. I'm going to be talking a lot about really deep subjects, personal experiences as to why I'm no longer a part of that community. And surprisingly, I'm actually gonna still talk about Shane Dawson. I promise that this is not gonna be a Shane Dawson channel. It just so happens that that man
irks my soul.
But I'm also going to be talking about Jeffree Star, Dramageddon, the secrets behind the beauty community that people don't see, and the harassment that I went through for basically an entire year. So yeah, I know today's video already started off kind of heavy, but I promise y'all we're still gonna have fun. This is still gonna be a long video where we can just have an open conversation and talk about just all the dirt behind the beauty community that no one really wants to talk about, because there's a lot. I know it's so typical for people who have done makeup in the past to make a video similar to this, where they have a thumbnail where they're crying and they're just like,
I know, I don't like feel it for me anymore.
But you know what? I am having my Trisha Paytas moment and y'all are not gonna take it away from me. No, but really, I'm ready to just spill the tea, as the beauty gurus say. So today's gonna be a pretty lengthy video, as always. Get some tea, light up a candle next to you, get snuggled up, and let's get into today's video. But before we get into today's video, you guys know the drill. I gotta pay my bills. So here's a word from our sponsor, Casetify. Casetify is an amazing phone case brand that honestly delivers everything you could possibly want in a phone case. Casetify's new Impact and Ultra Impact cases are made from 65% recycled and plant-based materials, which is super cool because we love a sustainable, friendly brand. Casetify also has this really cool Chi-Tech 2.0 technology, which is drop test approved for drops up to 9.8 feet. So your phone will always be protected with Casetify. And I know what you're thinking. Usually a lot of protection cases are really ugly, but not in Casetify's case. No pun intended. They have endless print options. You can pick your favorite color and your favorite print. You can also add your names for a really cool custom case. And the best part is that Casetify ensures that you are safe, because Casetify's cases are 100% non-toxic and non-hazardous. I chose cases that were specifically for certain family members, like this flower case. I think it would be so cute to give to my mom. And I also made some for myself because I am that extra, and you can be that extra too. All you gotta do is go to casetify.com/Salem to save 15% off your order. So I guess I want to start off this video by talking about how I first started getting into makeup, then talk about how I made my YouTube channel, my original content, and just kind of go from there. Again, this is not scripted, so sorry if this is just like a complete mess. I've always been into anything that has to do with artistic expression: hair, fashion, nails, jewelry, painting, drawing, music. Honestly, anything you can name off the top of your tiny walnut brain. And makeup was definitely one of those first avenues that I took for self-expression. Ever since I was a small child, I've just always thought of people who wore makeup as like these fabulous people. One of my biggest inspirations was definitely Bratz dolls and My Scene dolls, and the fact that their makeup matched with their wardrobes. Like, hello, I wanted to be a part of that. So of course I started off with my little Dollar Tree makeup kits, as any original baddie does. And of course my makeup evolved throughout the years as I grew up. I went from using the soda lipsticks, you know, the ones that are shaped like little sodas. I love those so much. Do they still sell those? Honestly, they were very iconic. To now using lip stain. And my love for makeup really evolved as I started to really get into doll-like makeup, elf makeup, and just anything to make me look not real. I was obsessed with putting a lot of blush on my face, as I still am now. I loved putting on like super dramatic lashes. I loved involving my elf ears that I just kind of took to Instagram, and I started to kind of play with makeup on Instagram because where else is there to show makeup than Instagram, because like everyone does it. Every now and then I would be featured on my sister's channel, whether it was to do her makeup or we do makeup together, or if I was just there, I was known as, you know, her sister who just has a bunch of makeup on. And a lot of people really ended up liking, you know, my art. And soon enough, people started asking my sister if I have a channel, if I have a makeup channel, if I can drop a makeup tutorial. And so my sister helped me out to create a YouTube channel. And there I posted my very first video ever, which was a review of the James Charles palette. And honestly, I was so genuinely shocked at how like well my video did. A lot of people have to stay on this platform for years to even get like 100 views. And my very first video ended up getting like 25,000 views, I believe. And I ended up getting a lot of subscribers pretty fast. And honestly, it was a lot of fun. Yes, my audio was not the best, not gonna lie. And the editing was horrendous, but honestly I was having a lot of fun doing something that I loved. And so a lot of my old videos had to do with makeup, just anything makeup, whether it was reviewing palettes, playing games where people choose my makeup, where I got my fans to draw makeup on me and then I recreate it in real life. I did like BTS inspired makeup, and I just kind of slowly started getting pulled into the beauty world because eventually I started doing hair videos, and through that I ended up actually working with like a lot of brands. And I don't know, just I had a very strong start to my YouTube career, even though I've only been on this platform for like a year and a half. It was really strong because I had already had a fan base from Peniel's audience and also from my Instagram. I was just having a ball, honestly, I really was, until everything just kind of went wrong.
At last the roof goes on and nothing can go wrong. Oh no, it all went wrong.
That was literally me, because pretty soon makeup and beauty and just the beauty community, all of this stuff started to warp into this strange community where it was nothing but drama and exposing, spilling tea. Basically, the girls were fighting. All of a sudden, James Charles is over here talking to underage people. Tati is having a mental breakdown over vitamins. Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star are making a palette, even though Shane doesn't even know how to do makeup. I blame you guys. You guys told him that he had talent. And I'm not gonna lie, at first, I think y'all can definitely agree with me that at first, it was pretty funny and entertaining to see all these beauty gurus just kind of get at each other and do these like expose videos, because it was almost like watching a real life episode of the Kardashians. Just these rich, pretty people going at each other over very stupid, petty things. That's when like really big tea channels started coming up and gaining really big fan bases. You know, there's like Spill Sesh, there's like Tea Spill, and so many other channels that I can't even name, who were almost doing this live reporting of all the drama that people wanted to keep track of. When I look back at it, I think of how just ridiculous it all was. But at the time, everyone was like talking about it. People were making videos about it left and right, and it was literally known as Dramageddon. Soon enough, I started to get comments on my James Charles video of, "Girl, you need to delete this," or "I can't believe you would review a Predator's makeup palette," and just a lot of concerning comments of people attacking me for doing this video before all of that was exposed. Guys, how is it my fault that I just wanted to review a makeup palette without knowing 5 months from then the person who made the palette was going to be exposed as like this horrible person? Yeah, not my fault, not very fair. And it was my very first video, so I do have a lot of sentiment connected to it. So I just felt like, what should I do? And pretty soon I started to get my own taste of what it was like to be one of those influencers. All of a sudden, I got roped into this narrative of the beauty community is toxic, which it is. But it started getting really out of hand to the point where smaller influencers and influencers who had nothing to do with Dramageddon started to get dragged for literally no reason. And also these influencers were being roped into a narrative that, first of all, they didn't even choose to be a part of. And second, it was never their fault that they were placed into that narrative when it was the bigger influencers arguing, not us. And it just got to a point where it was super tiring and annoying to get comments on my videos of people literally out of nowhere associating me with those types of people. And I started to get comments on how I was shallow, how I look like a bully, how I look like I'm a dramatic person, and just really strange stereotypes associated with me. And it just really sucked to see that, because I wasn't sure what I was doing to come across that way, other than to be associated with the beauty community that was slowly becoming extremely toxic on YouTube, at least, because the beauty community has always been toxic. Just on YouTube it wasn't for a while, until the whole Dramageddon thing happened. Around this time, I was obsessed with pastels, pink things, all things vintage. If you guys are a long-term fan of mine, you've seen that I used to have a tiny vintage room which was filled with all pink things and cute things, and a lot of my fashion and makeup surrounded, you know, this theme. And on my Instagram, I was known for putting very pink and red blush all over my face, especially my nose area. The blush on my nose was like my thing. It was my signature, and I had been doing it for a very long time, even before I had an Instagram, before I had YouTube, and before the whole e-girl thing. And that's not me saying I'm original, but what I am saying is that I was definitely doing it around a time where not a lot of people were. And because of this, I started to get a lot of heavy critique on my makeup. If you've been watching me for a while, you also know that this is no secret. I've been very open about it. Every other one of my videos when I was doing makeup, I would talk about how it was exhausting to get comments constantly of how I look disgusting. My face looks like it was bashed in with a hammer. I look like my face is going to protrude out of itself. Like, just very vulgar, horrible comments people would tell me, all because I wanted to do cute makeup. People would tell me that, oh, your makeup would be so good if you just didn't do that nose thing. Or people would tell me that my makeup was just ugly, that I was ugly. And if you've been following me for a while on my Instagram, then you guys know that every other day I would kind of post screenshots of comments and DMs that I would get from people, because at one point it got so overwhelming that I was just like, guys, this is why I'm not posting. This is why I've been gone for a while. I've always been bullied online, even before I even started my YouTube channel. This is a story that I've told on my Charlie D'Amelio video. But before I even launched my YouTube, I was very excited and I posted it on my Instagram story like, hey guys, I'm starting my YouTube channel tomorrow and I have my first video. And someone thought, I don't know like what they thought, but someone basically DM'd me saying, you'll never be like your sister. And I didn't even get to. I was someone who didn't even have a channel yet, and it was already starting. Like, I've just always been a person where people feel like it's okay to like say those things to me online, and I don't know why, but it really got to me. And apart from people telling me that I should have never gotten a channel, I was getting these comments of how I was ugly and my makeup was ugly. It was a lot. I think one thing that I remember to this day is it was this particular person who would basically harass me on the daily. They would send me DMs of how I was ugly, how I was fat, that my makeup was disgusting, and that me trying to look cute was hilarious to them. And I had enough and I DM'd them back. I told them like, hey, I don't know like why you're commenting all these things on my work, but it's not cool. Like, I'm gonna need you to stop. And I know what some of y'all are thinking. You're never supposed to respond to hate. Obviously now I know that, but back then I genuinely thought I could patch things up with this person because I don't know, I was just very naive. It was my very first time getting the amount of attention that I got, and it was my first time experiencing that on a platform, so I don't know what I was thinking. But this person sent me a long paragraph and they told me probably the most vile thing that I've ever been told on this platform, which was, you are a try-hard, and I screenshot your makeup looks and send it to a group chat of people where we all laugh at you. And I remember just crying my eyes out, and because these are all the things that I was dealing with in secret. Yeah, it was just a lot. It was really hard for me. So around this time, I was getting incredibly fed up with just everything going on around me. You know, I wanted to make videos. I wanted to show everyone my art on Instagram. I wanted to just be myself and be happy, and also be a representation for women of color and thick women who don't feel feminine. I wanted to be that person so bad, but at one point it just felt like, was it worth it anymore? Because at this point, I'm getting way more backlash. For me, if I do art, it's not only for me, it's for other people as well. It just really sucked that at one point, it seemed like it was just reaching the wrong audience always. There was just so much competition, and I constantly felt like I just wasn't good enough. People were comparing my editing and my comedy to Antonio Garza, so then people started canceling me for that, which, by the way, everyone was doing that type of editing. So was Emma Chamberlain. Literally so many people were doing it, but it also wasn't worth it to me because I just wasn't getting recognized at all. I had so many white counterparts who also did makeup, and they were getting these deals with ColourPop. They were getting PR from all these people, and I was kind of like getting nothing, even though I was trying so hard, even if I had more followers and more likes. And I felt like even though other people were doing the bare minimum and receiving more, I was just always kind of like pushed to the side. And it is so frustrating. I think I speak for every female of color makeup artist when I say that is very frustrating when we put a lot of work into our art just for a white man to do eyeshadow and eyeliner to basically get a deal with Sephora, even though it's like the bare minimum. This is something that I've always been afraid to talk about. I feel like people are gonna start calling me a bunch of names, of which I am not. But the truth is, whenever a white male does the absolute bare minimum when it comes to makeup, they are praised like crazy. But when it comes to other people, like, they have to put in the work. I cannot tell you how many times, like back then, I would scroll on Instagram and there would be these black creators, Latina creators, and just other people who weren't a white male who did amazing art, and yet they didn't even get half the recognition of these white males who are out here doing the worst makeup in the world. Yes, I said it, because that's what it was. You guys want an example? Shane Dawson is literally an example of that. This was was his skill level, and he still managed to land a multi-million-dollar deal with Jeffree Star for a makeup palette. Seems like a lot of privilege to me. And this is an actual thing in the business world, where males who go into female-dominated industries will get paid way more, get way more opportunities, way more recognition. Meanwhile, when a female goes into a male-dominated space, they don't receive the same thing. They just don't. And that is a bias that a lot of people don't acknowledge when it comes to the beauty world. And I'm so sick and tired of it. Y'all can cancel me all you want. I honestly really don't care. Around this time, the whole e-girl aesthetic ended up becoming really popular. I remember, like, there was this tutorial on TikTok that ended up becoming very viral because there was this girl who did very harsh nose contour with very, very harsh like blush and then highlight, and it just really sucked to see them get so much like love and so much basically being embraced with open arms, people telling her that she looked cute, that she was adorable and everything. Meanwhile, I did the same exact makeup and I was being told that I should literally basically commit scooter ankle because I was so ugly. And if some of you guys think I sound bitter, it's because I am, because it's not fair that I was exposed to such hatred. Meanwhile, my white counterparts got nothing but acceptance. People judged me a lot based off of my looks, and the beauty world has to do a lot with judging people based off their looks. And at one point, it just really didn't help my body dysmorphia. I felt like I had to change everything. Like, I felt like I had to Photoshop my face. I felt like I had to just not exist at one point. Like, I just had to like completely change. Like, I had to be someone else. So all of this stuff just kind of made me feel very powerless. I decided to take back my power eventually, which was through this video, which ended up getting a lot of support because I was just so done, you know? And that was my very first time entering the commentary atmosphere. I was just so tired of being made fun of, and I was so tired of all the racism that was going on and the colorism and the fat phobia that I was experiencing. That I decided to make it into something positive and make it one of my very first video essays, and just be incredibly vulnerable with my audience for the first time and just open up about how I'm not happy doing this. Like, this is not fun. I don't know when it stopped being fun, but this just isn't fun anymore. I hate this. I'm always depressed. I'm always angry. I lost all passion completely. And it honestly really didn't help that Shane Dawson came out with the "Welcome to the Circus" tweet, which, if y'all are confused about that, I actually made a video about that. This is the video. Shane Dawson basically made this huge tweet about how the beauty world is corrupting him and all these beauty gurus are after money and fame and this and that, and he was basically throwing all beauty creators under the bus for his mistakes, which is super stupid, because what people have to realize is that this is a thing that can be applied in almost every situation where there is a power imbalance, right? For some reason, because of Shane Dawson saying that, the beauty world was now corrupt, right? Because of people like James Charles and Jeffree Star and all that, grown-ass people who couldn't just resolve their beef behind the screen like normal people, but instead were immature and brought it right in front of the camera, there's now a narrative that everyone in the beauty community is out for money. Hello? I mentioned this a lot in my videos, but again, like I said, this can be applied to almost every situation where there's an power imbalance. There will always be people in the top who are rich, who take advantage of people and then use the less fortunate as a scapegoat. And even though the whole beauty scene has kind of come to a close because so many people have made videos of them like leaving the beauty community and why blah blah should be canceled and this and that, right? I have a feeling that it's going to reemerge, and that this is still a topic that is important to discuss, because the fact that I felt terrified to make this video back then because of Backlash should speak volumes as to how messed up this topic is and how people just can't seem to balance it at all. Like, I just hate that. I just hate that. I've always hated that. Like, it's not fair. It's so ugly. Like, just ew. The thing about the internet is that there is so much hate on the internet that it's almost like completely like not normal. When people say that hate and criticism is a part of my job, let's talk about that. In a way, yes, putting myself out there onto the internet is kind of an invitation for people to pick at me, criticize me, and tell me things that I know that there is always going to be criticism and hate on the internet. That's kind of what the internet is, unfortunately. You never know if your platform is going to be taken well. You never know who you're going to get into beef with. You never know if there is going to be a narrative that you get roped into, or if you lose passion for the thing that you wanted, to do originally. These are the things that you have to consider, and you definitely have to have a very thick skin, and it's such a long learning process that I am still barely learning. Putting myself out there on a platform where I can show my art and connect with people who are like-minded and willing to understand me and, be my fans and everything. I don't think that that should warrant the amount of hatred that I went through. Makeup and hair and the whole, those communities, the beauty community, has always been surrounded with criticism and hate and a lot of self-hatred. That's how the makeup and beauty community it profits off of your insecurities, right? But when it comes to the person selling you the product, the person who's telling you these are products I recommend for this problem, the influencer, right? So that would be me. It gets to a point where you yourself are a product, and it's just so dehumanizing, and it really gets to you. In these communities, there's just such an emphasis now. It's always been there, but I think now more than ever it truly has turned into something toxic, because now the narrative has completely spun out of control. The emphasis on the importance of makeup and making sure you look Instagram ready, making sure you look like a filter, making sure you're the richest, that you're like the ultimate beauty guru. It's absolutely ridiculous. There should be no standards like that. Why is there standards now of being rich and having a big house and launching your own palette? Why are these things being associated with people who just want to show off their art? Especially because there is no right way to dress. There is no right way to express yourself. The way you express yourself is how you choose to express yourself, and it's not wrong. So then why does makeup, something that has been used for years for expression and artwork, has so many stupid standards tied to it? And why are we continuing to give it that much power? At first I didn't understand why so many people wanted to leave this community when I first entered it. But now that I've gone through it, I understand. I understand why people leave. I understand why people end up taking like 5-year-long breaks. I understand why people pull a Michelle Phan. For those of you who don't know who Michelle Phan is, she is the OG beauty influencer. Y'all cannot find me on this. She was a very big makeup YouTuber, and she completely abruptly left out of nowhere in 2015, and she came back in 2017 with a video called Why I Left. In this video, Fawn talks about how she was incredibly unhappy. She talks about how once she was a girl with dreams who eventually became a product, selling, smiling, and selling, and somewhere along the journey, she completely lost herself. She also talked about how there was a lot of legal issues that she ran into, and how she had a huge battle with self-image. Now, I'm not comparing myself to Michelle Phan, guys, but what I am saying is that, at one point I was so desperate to latch onto anything that the YouTube algorithm could take from me so I could just completely ditch the makeup stuff. And that's when I started getting into commentary completely. I saw how well my video was received with exposing the beauty community video, that I just started to dabble more and more into commentary, and I found a new passion, and I do enjoy it a lot. I can still do my makeup, I can get into fashion, all while talking about things that I get amped up about. I almost have found this perfect balance, to it all. But at the same time, I feel like it really sucks that I had to abandon that part of me so fast because I just couldn't take it anymore. And by me abandoning that, I also abandoned a lot of dreams and hopes and aspirations that I had. I always wanted to make my own blush. I've always wanted to collab with other makeup people, but just my experience was so crappy that I just felt like I had to give up those dreams, which I'm fine with now, kind of, because sometimes I want to go back to making, makeup videos. I think the most fun I've had recently when it comes to makeup is getting to do a video with Kevin, where I transform him into like this complete goth rocker dude. That was like the most fun I've had. But that video didn't perform well at all compared to my commentary videos. So now I feel like, oh, people don't want to see that. So should I just abandon it all together completely, even if I enjoy it? What if commentary becomes another makeup thing where I lose passion, where I start to get canceled, where I start to face all this backlash? What if I make a mistake? What if people don't like me anymore? What is going to be my next thing? And as I get bigger and bigger on this platform, every day that anxiety creeps up, and it just makes me feel like I can't even enjoy my success currently, because I feel like one day it's going to be taken away from me. And it honestly really, really sucks. It stops me from wanting to branch out. And this is why I hate making videos about my feelings, because feelings, even though they're good, feelings are good when other people have them, and feelings are good when other people express them, but when I do, I just don't like it. But because I also don't want to manifest it, you know what I mean? I'm pretty satisfied where I'm at currently in my YouTube career. Even though it's barely started, I am a newbie on this platform, and I'm very excited to see where I can take this. There's just a lot of fear of so many things repeating, but even worse. But I'm just so grateful that I've had people who have supported me since day one as Ducky, because I used to go as Ducky on my YouTube. For all my OG Ducky fans who have stayed with me since day one to see me grow, I appreciate you guys literally so much. The people out there who are always willing to understand me, I appreciate that so much. The most that I can do is try to be stronger and strive for what I think is best for me. If that means going back to doing stuff that I like, even if I don't get as many views or support, I'm gonna do it. I'm just kind of over and tired of fear controlling my daily life, especially on my platform where I want to create this atmosphere where people are allowed to be themselves. So yeah, when I said that this topic is a lot deeper and definitely has more substance to it, I was being very serious. Also, I just want to say that this video was not to discourage anyone from wanting to do makeup, or discourage anyone from wanting to start a YouTube channel, or make people feel bad for me. But this video was more so kind of me finally dumping all my thoughts out. It was a very, 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 very rough start, and I will probably go through all of that again one day, and probably times a million times worse, but I'm gonna try to be stronger. Well guys, that is it for today's video. I'm sorry if it was kind of a downer. I really wasn't trying to make the video sad. It really was just me dumping all my feelings out to just get it out. But if you made it to the end of the video, please comment a duck emoji in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. Have you had a bad experience with the beauty community, or just a bad experience with something where you tried branching out into it and it just wasn't what you thought it was? Let me know. If you guys want to get more in touch with me, follow me on my Instagram. And I make music, so support me on my SoundCloud. Do something that you love today, compliment someone, write in your journal about one thing that you're grateful for. Take a nap, I don't know. Just whatever you do today, make sure that today is a good one. But I do feel a sense of relief. I think I'm gonna go take an Epsom salt bath and watch RuPaul's Drag Race. But anyways, I will see you in the next video. Bye!